In this video, we'll be taking a look at 4 college basketball games happening on November 27, 2024, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 8 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 4 college basketball games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start: if you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Memphis versus Auburn. We have arrived at the championship game of the prestigious Maui Invitational, where a member of the American Athletic Conference faces off against an opponent from the Southeastern Conference on the basketball court, all taking place in the beautiful Hawaiian Islands. In the title matchup set for Wednesday afternoon, the Memphis Tigers will battle the number 4 ranked Auburn Tigers. Memphis earned their spot in the final by defeating Michigan State 71-63 in their semifinal contest on Tuesday night, pulling off the victory as 2.5-point underdogs. On the other side, Auburn triumphed over number 10 North Carolina with a commanding 85-72 win in their semifinal, comfortably covering the 3.5-point spread as favorites. Looking at the history between these two teams, the all-time series is tied, with each side claiming 1 victory. The most recent encounter took place at the State Farm Arena in Atlanta on December 10, 2022, where Memphis emerged victorious with an 82-73 win. Despite Memphis' impressive performance so far this season, they may find this particular challenge too difficult to overcome. Auburn has already proven their mettle by securing a road win over Houston and neutral site victories over Iowa State and North Carolina. While Memphis does have a notable win over UConn, this Auburn team seems to be firing on all cylinders, with early season Player of the Year contender Broome leading the charge. Slowing down Broome will be a significant challenge for Memphis, especially considering Auburn's ranking as the second best team in the nation for 2-point shooting this season. Auburn boasts a balanced offense with 6 players averaging in double figures, making them a formidable opponent both inside the paint and on the perimeter. Their depth and versatility on offense set them apart, and not many teams have the ability to match up with such a well-rounded attack. Both Memphis and Auburn are playing at a high level, showcasing their strengths throughout this tournament, which makes this a hard game to call. However, when factoring in both teams' performances and the circumstances surrounding the game, Auburn stands out as the more complete team. Not only do the Tigers have the superior defensive unit, but their shooters are more reliable, particularly as both teams head into their 3rd game in as many days. Auburn's depth and offensive firepower give them an edge, with more players capable of stepping up and taking control of the game. Because of this, the Auburn Tigers to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. As Memphis heads into the championship, they have seen the over hit in 3 of their 6 games this season. The Tigers rank 23rd in offensive efficiency, 36th in effective field goal percentage, and 215th in offensive rebound percentage. However, they have struggled with turnovers, ranking 223rd in turnover percentage at 18.7%. Memphis plays at an above-average tempo, sitting 86th in adjusted pace with 70.4 possessions per game, according to Ken Palm. Meanwhile, Auburn has posted a 3-3 record against the over in their 6 games this season. The Tigers rank 5th in defensive efficiency, 32nd in effective field goal percentage defense, and 118th in 3-point field goal percentage defense. They force turnovers at a rate of 15.9%, placing them 254th in the nation. Auburn plays at a slightly above average pace, ranking 139th in adjusted tempo with 69.5 possessions per game, according to Ken Palm. Both teams have demonstrated an ability to score efficiently, especially in the tournament setting. In both of Auburn's games in Maui, the final combined scores were 164 and 157, which are relatively high considering Auburn's excellent defense. This game is likely to follow a similar trend, with Memphis' fast-paced style of play combining with Auburn's offensive weapons to generate plenty of scoring. Memphis' trio of quick, dynamic guards will put pressure on Auburn's defense, and in return, Auburn's Johnny Broome, one of the most dominant players in the paint, will be a key factor in this high-scoring affair. Broome is capable of scoring at will inside, but also has the ability to stretch the defense with his outside shooting. Both teams have been efficient from beyond the arc this season, further contributing to their ability to rack up points. Given the up-tempo nature of Memphis play and Auburn's ability to score from multiple areas of the court, the over on the projected total holds significant value. With both teams playing their third game in as many days, we anticipate the book will adjust the line down, giving us an opportunity to take advantage of the over. Therefore, over the projected total is our full game total pick. Rutgers versus Alabama. The Impact Group continues its action on the second day of the Players Era Thanksgiving Festival, with Rutgers set to take on number 9 Alabama on Wednesday night. The Scarlet Knights were involved in a thrilling overtime battle with Notre Dame on Tuesday, which they ultimately won 85-84. Meanwhile, the Crimson Tide also needed overtime to secure a hard-fought victory, edging number 6 Houston 85-80 in their own Tuesday matchup. Both Alabama and Rutgers have been performing well recently, each winning 4 of their last 5 games. Alabama stands out as the stronger offensive team, particularly due to their impressive shooting, hitting over 49% of their field goals, while Rutgers has a shooting percentage of 47%. The Crimson Tide excel in ball movement and creating open shots, and they also have a notable edge in rebounding. They are pulling down an average of 10 offensive rebounds per game, which provides them with additional scoring opportunities. Moreover, Alabama is effective at limiting turnovers and forcing their opponents into mistakes. In contrast, the Scarlet Knights have struggled defensively, allowing over 74 points per game over their last 3 contests. This defensive vulnerability could prove problematic when facing a high-powered offensive team like Alabama, who will likely have little trouble exploiting these weaknesses. The only previous meeting between these two teams took place in 1969, with Alabama emerging victorious 80-69. The winner of this matchup will advance to Saturday's championship game, while the loser will have to rely on tiebreakers to determine their final standing. For Rutgers, the challenge will be to recover from the physical and emotional toll of their overtime win against Notre Dame on Tuesday. The extended minutes in that game could affect their energy levels at the start of this contest, and while Alabama also played overtime, their game wasn't as taxing as Rutgers. The Scarlet Knights, a team largely made up of freshmen, will be facing their first-ranked opponent of the season. Although they delivered an impressive performance against Notre Dame, this will likely be a significant challenge for them. Despite showing potential, their lack of experience will likely be exposed against a well-coached, seasoned Alabama team. The Crimson Tide, knowing their opponent's inexperience, will likely let the Scarlet Knights take their shots while trying to wear them down with their faster pace. Alabama is coming off a stretch of games against 3 straight ranked opponents, including a 13-point win over number 25 Illinois, making them well prepared for this matchup. As a result, the Alabama Crimson Tide to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. The Scarlet Knights have gone over the total in 3 of their last 4 games, while the Crimson Tide have also hit the over in their last 2 contests. Rutgers is averaging 80 points per game, and they play at the 178th fastest pace in the country, averaging 72.1 possessions per game. They are now facing a team that allows an average of 74 points per game. On the other hand, Alabama averages an impressive 90 points per game, playing at the 41st fastest pace in the nation. They will be up against a team that has allowed 74 points per game over their last 3 outings. So far this season, 6 games involving these teams have gone under the total. Alabama boasts a top 20 scoring offense capable of lighting up the scoreboard from anywhere on the floor. They are fast and efficient, and they should have little trouble generating points in this matchup. Meanwhile, Rutgers also has a strong offense, averaging over 80 points per game. Despite being a very young team, the Scarlet Knights have shown impressive skill, featuring some of the best freshman talent in the nation. In terms of pace, both teams are known for playing fast. Alabama ranks 14th in tempo according to Ken Palm, while Rutgers is ranked 109th. The Crimson Tide also ranked 41st in possessions per game with 76.2, while the Scarlet Knights are ranked 178th with 72.1. With both teams eager to push the pace, over the projected total is our full game total pick. Michigan State versus North Carolina. The third-place matchup of the prestigious Maui Invitational brings a clash of powerhouse basketball programs from the Big Ten and Atlantic Coast Conference conferences. The Michigan State Spartans are set to face off against the number 10 ranked North Carolina Tar Heels on Wednesday night in a high-profile college basketball showdown. In their semifinal game on Tuesday evening, Michigan State suffered a 71-63 loss to Memphis, failing to meet expectations as a 2.5-point favorite. Meanwhile, North Carolina fell to number 4 Auburn in an 85-72 defeat, failing to cover the spread as a 3.5-point underdog. Historically, the Tar Heels hold a 6-3 advantage in their all-time series against the Spartans, including a decisive 85-69 victory in their most recent meeting during the second round of the NCAA tournament on March 23, 2024, in Charlotte. This game serves as a rematch of last season's NCAA tournament second-round battle, where the Tar Heels triumphed over the Spartans with a dominant double-digit win, powered by then Atlantic Coast Conference Player of the Year R.J. Davis, who tallied 20 points to lead all scorers. Although the rosters have seen significant changes since that encounter, the overall strategies and playing styles of the two teams remain consistent. North Carolina continues to thrive on fast-paced play, led by the leadership of R.J. Davis. The Tar Heels have been prolific offensively, averaging about 10 points more per game than Michigan State, and they excel at getting to the free throw line, averaging over 28 attempts per contest. According to KenPom metrics, North Carolina ranks 5th in offensive efficiency, scoring an impressive 121 points per 100 possessions. Their defense, rated 52nd, complements their offense, creating a balanced team. On the other hand, Michigan State has struggled offensively as Memphis exposed vulnerabilities in their defensive schemes. The Spartans also face challenges with shooting, especially from beyond the arc, which North Carolina's strong interior defense is likely to exploit further. Both teams underwhelmed in their semifinal matchups, with each game effectively decided by the middle of the second half. Michigan State's offense lacks depth, and their perimeter shooting is a significant concern. They entered Tuesday ranked last in Division I in three-point shooting. Conversely, North Carolina boasts an explosive offense capable of outscoring any team in the nation. However, defensive inconsistencies remain a hurdle for the Tar Heels if they aim to contend in March. Head coach Hubert Davis could benefit from developing more confidence in his bench to avoid over-relying on key players like R.J. Davis and Simon Wilcher-Trimble. Despite some flaws, North Carolina's overall firepower and Michigan State's shooting struggles make the North Carolina Tar Heels to win and cover the spread as favorites. Our full-game side pick. For bettors looking at the total score, Michigan State has leaned toward lower-scoring games this season, with the under hitting in 5 of their 7 contests. The Spartans rank 79th in offensive efficiency and 12th in defensive efficiency, excelling in effective field goal percentage defense at 46.2%. They have also been effective at limiting opponents' shooting percentages, holding teams to 28.4% from three-point range and 46.5% from inside the arc. With a moderate pace of play, ranked 186th in adjusted tempo by KenPom at 68.6 possessions per game, Michigan State tends to slow things down. On the other hand, North Carolina has favored high-scoring affairs, with the overhitting in 5 of their 6 games this season. The Tar Heels rank 6th in offensive efficiency, 6th in turnover percentage, and 116th in two-point shooting. They play at a faster pace, ranking 7th in adjusted tempo with 73.8 possessions per game. However, with both teams playing their third game in 3 nights and Michigan State likely aiming to control the tempo, this contest is expected to fall short of the projected total. Therefore, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Connecticut versus Dayton. It's the 7th place game of the prestigious Maui Invitational, featuring a showdown between programs representing the Big East and Atlantic 10 conferences. Both teams are eager to salvage some pride from their Hawaiian excursion. The second-ranked Connecticut Huskies take the court against the Dayton Flyers on Thursday morning. Connecticut, after being heavily favored by 14.5 points, suffered a surprising 73-72 defeat against Colorado in Tuesday's consolation bracket game. Meanwhile, Dayton gave a spirited effort but ultimately fell 89-84 to 5th-ranked Iowa State in their their consolation game that evening, managing to cover the spread as a 9.5-point underdog. These two teams have faced each other only once before, with Connecticut emerging victorious in a 75-64 win during the semifinals of the Puerto Rico tip-off on November 21, 2014. The Connecticut Huskies have faced challenges maintaining their dominance in the Maui Invitational, primarily due to foul trouble among their big men. Both 6'10 centers, Samson Johnson and Terrace Reed Jr., have struggled to stay on the court, each fouling out of both tournament games. While this has been a setback, the silver lining is that they are well rested and expected to play pivotal roles against Dayton. Adding to Connecticut's struggles, their leading scorer, 6'8" forward Alex Carabin, had an uncharacteristically quiet performance on Tuesday, scoring just 7 points, his first single-digit game this season. He will likely aim to bounce back with a strong showing. In contrast, Dayton has relied heavily on its starters through 2 grueling games, leaving the team fatigued. This fatigue may be a key factor as they face a Huskies squad with greater depth and the playmaking ability of the reigning champions. Despite concerns that Connecticut might lack motivation in a 7th-place game, they have every reason to deliver a statement performance to redeem their disappointing tournament run. Connecticut likely didn't expect to be playing in the last-place game of the Maui Invitational after blowing leads in losses to Memphis and Colorado. Their defense has been subpar throughout the tournament, but their offensive firepower should give them a significant edge against Dayton. On the other side, the Flyers suffered close defeats to North Carolina and Iowa State, both of which they could have potentially won. However, Dayton's defensive struggles over the past 2 games are likely to persist, especially against Connecticut's potent offense. As a result, the Connecticut Huskies to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Connecticut's games have generally leaned toward the under, with 4 of their 6 contests staying below the total this season. The Huskies rank 4th in offensive efficiency and 61st in defensive efficiency, but they play at a methodical pace, averaging just 66.3 possessions per game. Offensively, Connecticut excels in effective field goal percentage and offensive rebounding percentage. Dayton, conversely, has gone over the total in 4 of their 6 games, with 1 push. The Flyers rank 28th in offensive efficiency, 62nd in defensive efficiency, and 49th in effective field goal percentage. They also maintain a strong turnover percentage at 13.7% but struggle on the boards with a 29.9% offensive rebounding rate. Like Connecticut, Dayton plays at a slow tempo, ranking 239th in adjusted pace with 67.8 possessions per game. This contest marks the 3rd game in as many days for both teams, and fatigue will inevitably become a factor. Dayton, in particular, is likely to struggle against Connecticut's size and athleticism, especially with the Huskies' key players benefiting from some rest due to foul trouble. Although Connecticut's scoring has remained consistently high, their slower pace of play, combined with Dayton's similar tempo, should keep the game's total score lower. According to Ken Palm, Dayton operates at the 241st pace, averaging 67.7 possessions per 40 minutes. Additionally, with this being the final game of the tournament, the overall energy and intensity may dip as teams wind down their Hawaiian campaigns. Both squads have strong defensive reputations, and the combined factors of fatigue, deliberate pacing, and diminished urgency suggest that this game will stay under the projected total. Consequently, under the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.